There we go.
It's working.
Awesome. As many of you know, we have gone through a huge amount of change as a business with our global ownership. And one of the biggest questions that we get asked in market is, well, what does that mean locally for us here? And I think what you have seen across the board is when you look at a lot of the media businesses overseas, there's been a huge consolidation of those businesses and a really big growth in direct-to-consumer services. So 20th Century Fox, as well as Disney, Comcast, NBC Universal. And as you saw with us 18 months ago, the coming together of both Viacom and CBS. Back in December of last year at our annual investors meeting, we rebranded to Paramount. And here in this market, we are Paramount ANZ.
Hi, buddy. How are you?
And what this signifies is that we are no longer two businesses coming together, but a really powerful global powerhouse, which really provides us with a very unique point of difference in this market. Paramount has a huge history in terms of heritage and also brand awareness. It's iconic. It's had lots of history globally. And I guess with the broad and varied portfolio of content that we now own and operate, we have this amazing opportunity across all of the globe to have this very exciting content that we can distribute really widely. So when you look at our business strategy really is about maximizing our traditional businesses. So that's linear, pay TV, and theatrical, as we also own Paramount Pictures, whilst at the same time growing our direct-to-consumer platforms, which includes 10Play in this market, which is our BVOD service, Paramount Plus, which we launched last year in August, and by all accounts, it is exceeding our expectations in this market. And then there's also Pluto TV, which hasn't launched in this market yet. It is a faster service, which is another acronym in digital, which is a free ad-supported streaming television. And it's a really significant global trend that we're seeing, where people are going to these services where they, curate genres and live channels, because people are really after discovery of content to complement the high intent viewing that they share across VOD as well as SVOD as well. So as you can see, a very unique opportunity for us in this market to continue to grow streaming, but also utilize our traditional businesses that still delivers huge scale, but use them as a promotional platform to promote our streaming business, and also have the ability to connect clients to our entire ecosystem, which is a very exciting future for us. What we will take you through today is predominantly around 10Play, because we could talk about all this stuff forever, but we wanted to really deep dive into our plans for 10Play, as Smitty mentioned, to take you through what to expect from us in the year ahead. Sorry, I was going to throw it into you, Nick, so over to you.
Thank you. So diving into 10Play, we're seeing that viewing habits are continuing to shift. We've seen 54% yearly growth rate since 2017 when looking at BVOD viewing. And every year it grows and is becoming a larger percentage of total TV viewing. You can see in just 4 years, it's increased from 3.2% to 8.5% of total viewing. And when looking at younger audiences under 55s, it now represents 13.9% of overall viewing. Consumers are shifting, and that is why having a holistic view of audiences and reaching them on BVOD continues to be important for brands and clients. So taking a look at what we see 10Play as, it's live, it's on demand, it's premium programming, local stories, global pipeline, unparalleled content, an unparalleled content experience, whenever and wherever, on every screen. It's a marketing platform. It's an engaged, addressable audience, premium brand experience. It's easy to execute, and it drives meaningful results. Our intentions are clear. We don't divide, we unite. We don't exploit differences, we celebrate them. Apologies. Let's start that again. Diversity, equity, and inclusion are also integral to the stories we tell and support on every screen. Our intentions are clear. We don't divide, we unite. We don't exploit our differences, we celebrate them. We don't stand still, we move with culture. We entertain, inform, and empower audiences. Template is a place for every voice to be heard. So what does this look like? We're focused on weaving diversity into how we explore our tentpole shows like MasterChef and Survivor, both on screen and off screen. We launched a NAIDOC series, Stuff Everyone Should Know About Australia, which busts myths and celebrates truths of the Indigenous culture and history of Australia. We've got our Pilot Week coming up, which celebrates Australia's multicultural society and has Indigenous producers weaved throughout. And that will be launching in June, July. We produced a series called Out Here with Screen Australia a few years ago and ran a competition looking for producers to make short form documentaries about LGBTQI life in regional and rural Australia. Us and Screen Australia selected 3 documentaries that ran on Template and have since screened in festivals all around the world. And we're also actively looking for LGBTQI content for Template and have recently acquired the documentary City of Queens about a group of London drag queens as a Template only commission. I'll hand back on to Di.
Thanks, Nick. So hopefully you can see there that the values and our approach for Template is no different to what you expect from Network 10. But really Template is a place for fans to really immerse. You know, it's there for you to, you know, watch great content. And in this example, we've got MasterChef, which is doing really well at the moment, but also a place where users can engage further. So this is where you can learn about contestants and also judges, but where you can also learn and find out more details about the amazing recipes that are cooked through recipe content. And then also ultimately where you can take action. So, you know, buying, trying yourself at home. You've had a partnership with Coles for many years now. So hopefully you can see here that we can provide a really full funnel solution that really engages those consumers all the way through to buying and trying products. In addition to that, our content strategy is really building that around different worlds. So as you can see, we've got Tentpole Superfans. So not only is it a destination where you can watch tentpoles that you haven't watched on linear, you can also immerse yourself in those worlds. And we've got a range of companion series like Survivor Talking Tribal, Jury Villa, Masked Singer Behind the Mask, to really ensure that we can, you know, focus on passionate fans, drive that fandom and give people another opportunity to delve deeper into those tentpoles. In addition to that, we've also got global franchises. So we've created worlds off the back of our successful tentpoles. So we've got the world of Survivor, Bachelor in Paradise US, as well as MasterChef Asia, to ensure that we've got these global brands that connect to our existing shows, where people can really immerse themselves into that world. We also have cult classics. So one of the new additions that we've recently uploaded onto Template is Prisoner, a show from the 70s and 80s that some of you may remember and some of you may not. But it shows that people are really rediscovering, you know, back catalogue content. Things like NCIS, we've also had retro replay through content that we have owned through MTV as well as Nickelodeon. And then finally, sport. Sport is a really huge pillar. We've got Bellator. We had the acquisition of the football this year, as well as Grand Prix, Melbourne Cup Carnival. So this sport content is really driving audiences, and you'll see a little bit further into the presentation what that has delivered from an audience point of view. And then essentially what that means is that we can reticulate our audiences beyond our tentpoles. Template is more than a tentpole destination. It has exclusive content where we can ensure that we can provide these great content experiences, and it's a streaming destination for fans. So as you can see there, how this might look is you might have your tentpole super fans, watching Survivor that was on in Q1. They can then go back in and we start promoting the world of Survivor, and they can, watch all of the different series around the globe to try this now. We then, promote cult content where, really encourages that binge behavior where we have all of the episodes that people can watch. And then also connecting them with non-stop sport, watch live now. So really it's about creating these different experiences on the platform and ensuring that we can keep them on the platform for longer by giving them more choice. And all of this is underpinned not only by local, but also a huge global back catalogue that allows us to really build the content strategy to ensure that we can continue to build our audience. And in terms of how we are delivering on the strategy, last year we had 3,300 new hours of content added, which is up 46% year on year. So really ensuring that we continue to, target fans. In addition to that, it's also for first. So as we mentioned, a big part of our strategy is continuing to build exclusive content, and a third of our top programs on Template are BVOD exclusive or BVOD first. And then from a sport point of view, those passionate fans, through our sport content strategy on Template, we have grown our new male users by 650,000 new members in the past year, which is growth of 70%. So this is really attributing to bringing new audiences onto the platform. And who's watching? So you might have seen us talk about unique unduplicated audiences versus our competitors when it comes to 10, and this is the same for 10 Play. So only 37% of 7+ and 9 Now viewers watch 10 Play, so definitely shows that there is a unique audience on the platform, which is valuable for advertisers. And then also when we look at stats around co-viewing, as well as co-viewing statistics, we know that 68% of viewing is on connected TV, and that continues to grow, a really large proportion on that big screen, which means that you are talking to more than just one person. And we know through OzTamVoz that we're seeing that 20% of viewing is co-viewing, which is really valuable for advertisers. In addition to that, as you can see here, as we continue to increase our content library and what we promote on Template, we've seen more members, and we are now at 5.4 million registered members, which is up 33%. So what we see here is the more content that we put onto Template and exclusive content, as well as live sport and our tentpoles, really does correlate to increases in those audiences, which is going to be a continued strategy for us moving forward. And also a bigger part of total audiences. Nick spoke to the total numbers when it comes to percentages of viewing that is on BVOD, and you can see here across these amazing tentpoles that we have, they're making up a large proportion now. Bachelor at 22%, Survivor at 17%, and these percentages are only continuing to grow. And live streaming as well is skyrocketing, and we are seeing this across the board with all BVOD providers and platforms. It now accounts for 34% of minutes viewed. You can see there we've already seen growth of 61% in 2022 off the back of some significant growth since 2019, and that is only going to continue as we watch people and their consumption change, and watching live streaming of our channels on Template and BVOD services. And also what that represents is that we're also growing in key audiences. So this looks at our yearly minutes viewed, and you can see there's some really significant growth across all major demographics, which just shows the audience consumption and the growth that we're seeing across the board. And then not only are we seeing growth across the board, we wanted to give you an insight into who the 10-play user is. And this is really important because you want to know not only what the numbers look like, but also who they are, so that we can ensure that we can be more targeted from an advertising perspective to, you know, your clients, and also so that we can give you insights to help with planning as well as activation. So if you look at our 10-play users, 60% is female and 69% is under 50. They're drama lovers with a touch of reality. And combined with not only our first party and our second party data partnerships, we can now start to give you a profile of who that 10-play audience is. You know, whether they're families, they're homeowners. We know that they have a high disposable income. They're regular users of Uber and actively buy pet food. And so these are all insights that we can now draw on to ensure that we can go beyond demo and give you these rich insights to ensure that you know that you're reaching the right audiences. I'm now going to throw to Shani, who is going to take you through our marketing platform, what it means for clients, and our exciting ad product strategy and roadmap.
Thanks, Di. Hi, everyone. Okay, so from our perspective, we continue to accelerate our efforts to bring a market-leading experience across all our platforms for the clients we work with. We're focused on creating a robust marketing platform that drives ongoing business growth. Nico, there's some builds on this. Yes, amazing. So one of our key areas of focus is data. So when it comes to our commercial data strategy for 2022, we're focused on 3 pillars. We're continuously investing in new content that will attract audiences we know brands want to reach. A great example of this is the football with the A-League, and Di talked to the growth in our male audiences. We're also developing our insights and measurement products to blend together the rich data we have with data partners and brands. And this helps to tell a richer story about the potential and performance of campaigns. These insights will be meaningful beyond our platform. And of course, it goes without saying, we're continuously working on ways to improve the way we trade, making our inventory richer and easier to understand, buy, and measure. All of this is underpinned by respecting users. So as a business and a global company, we lean in on privacy changes, and we've designed our data and tech stack with these principles in mind. We're actively involved in understanding the policy changes affecting our industry. I'm sure we're all across what's happening, and have invested in partnerships like LiveRamp Safe Haven that enable sharing of our most sensitive data with brands and data partners. When we take a look at our ad products, we're all about a simple value exchange. Valuable premium content and user experience exchanged for attention and time. Valuable, by valuable we mean relevant and immersive. From a premium experience perspective, we mean non-disruptive, intuitive, and progressive. We're all about creating meaningful ways for brands to connect. When we think about that, how does that come to life in terms of our guiding principles? Well, we're CTV focused. We know that CTV presents the best of both worlds. It provides the scale and real estate of traditional TV with the addition of a more attuned audience, addressable and interactive advertising opportunities. We're programmatic first. So whatever we develop from an ad product perspective, we want to be able to QA and test and be able to, for you to be able to trade programmatically. We know it's an essential part of marketing strategy. It helps, launching these ad products and being able to trade there provides more efficiency and accountability. And we're about being video adjacent. So creating ad experiences that are sympathetic to viewers' changing consumption habits. We're focusing on that non-disruptive advertising formats that aim to enhance the viewing experience as opposed to disrupt it. We know that viewers are one click away from choosing an ad-free experience, and we want to respect that. All of this, CTV focused, programmatic first, or video adjacent, doesn't matter if we don't create ad products that are aligned to marketing outcomes. And that's what we're doing. We're underpinning all of our strategy by ensuring we're aligning to marketing outcomes. So we're about creating, defining, and delivering experiences aligned to marketing and business outcomes. How does that come to life in terms of our ad product strategy? Well, we're all about delivering impact. So providing smarter ways to draw attention on the line. encouraging engagement. This is where we create a value exchange, allowing brands to engage directly with consumers. And finally, driving action. It's about that action-oriented driving and proving performance. How it comes to life today. So our product strategy is brought to life today through products like content carousel sponsorship, which allow clients to place their brands front and center on the homepage of Template, and premium pause, which is a highly impactful ad experience that's initiated by the user. We move into the encouraging engagement part, and this is where we look at add addition of QR codes into our most premium real estate for premium pause. And then we move into driving action, and this is where we've got those creative competition mechanics that align to our top tentpoles and sporting events. What this looks like tomorrow, however, is ad products like the Countdown, which we're about to launch. And this is an impactful ad experience which appears at the end of a program before the next program begins. It's an opportune video adjacent moment. We're looking also at dynamic end cards and brand overlays on top of clients' TVCs, making their TVC work harder for them. We also want to encourage engagement through interactivity. So encouraging time spent by giving viewers the option to spend their ad break answering trivia questions that are relevant to the advertising or connected to a tentpole or sports sponsorship. We're also looking to build more functionality into the premium pause format by adding interactivity into that space. When we're thinking about driving action, this is where dynamic QR codes come to life. They're premium and interactive experiences that bridges content and commerce, giving viewers the opportunity to engage and interact with brands and products within the Template environment. Connecting TV screens with mobile. There's a bottom one down there. So it's a second screen experience we all know that audiences take advantage of. And it's about prompting viewers to enter their phone number to receive a text message with a trackable URL and additional information about a brand or product. How does this all come together? So we thought we'd give you an example in terms of a use case. In this example, it's an established FMCG brand looking to build a brand favorability and establish their brand credentials with a younger progressive audience through a premium sponsorship of the batch. So here's how the partnership can come to life. We're going, awesome. So reach, it's all about being audience focused, right? We want to reach as many fans and audiences as possible. We want to leverage all devices and all CTV platforms across multiple buying channels to reach as much audience as possible. We would do this by delivering higher frequency pre and mid rolls within batchy content, live and VOD. And we'd also run a data campaign where we would be able to identify batchy fans who aren't necessarily watching at that moment, but being able to reach that younger batchy fans in other content environments. When we look at awareness, this is where we're able to deliver smarter ways to draw attention and align. And this is through that content carousel sponsorship, potentially showcasing bespoke brand funded content with batchy talent, creating recipes with the FMCG brand. And then finally with premium pause ads in batchy content. It's all about educating memorably. When we go into engagement, this is where we create a value exchange, where we're allowing brands to engage directly with consumers. So this is where we have social posts and our Twitter amplify sponsorship of all batchy handle social content. We also could look at a YouTube sponsorship, so extending the sponsorship onto a curated recipe content playlist on the YouTube batchy channel. Finally, we're looking at engaging directly with consumers where they're actively participating with and about the brand, and this is through a competition mechanic. All of this underpinned by a research study measuring the impact on key brand metrics. So if I can leave you with 3 things to remember. We're audience-centric. We have unparalleled content experience whenever and wherever on every screen. We have content at our heart. It's a diverse and robust content strategy, reticulating audiences beyond tentpoles. And we're creating our ad experiences with clients in mind. So premium brand experiences that are easy to execute and drive meaningful results. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Shani. So yeah, obviously some bit of content to cover off, but I think the key stuff that obviously Shani left us with 3 points to close with. But 5.4 million IDs with that 33% growth. Exclusive content that we're now offering on Template with 3,500 additional hours that have come just in recent since this year, and obviously massive growth in I guess the male demographic, which is obviously hard to find. So yeah, certainly 10 play offering and some amazing stuff to come down the road. So on the roadmap, we're excited, and yeah, Paramount certainly has a beautiful offering we hope suits all needs. So thanks for taking the time, guys. Obviously, reach out if there's any questions you might have, and we can help facilitate.